seven sisters.
Seven sisters.
Seven sisters.
Seven sisters.
Seven sisters.
Seven sisters.
Seven.
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 Seven sisters speak.
Mama said, from my soon-to-be-released book, Melanin Drops, Mama told me at a young age, seek a man with a car that could give me something. Never did Mama tell me what I could be in the spectrum, so I became real linear, and this was not a linear equation. This was calculus as I calculated how antiquated we as women have become. So much so that mothers tell us to seek a man that could provide without providing us with the tools for financial literacy, and we look to he for our freedom when we should have been freeing our souls and minds from the narrow-minded sexism. Mama said, get a man that drives a car so he can take you to work. But never did she say get your own vehicle that you can drive yourself. You see, we have been told to buy into these social norms, so much so that we act as if we have one accord to a man's bank account. So we account for all his cents, not learning any sense, and then we blame everyone but ourselves when we on welfare with 10 kids because we never really had the time to analyze what Mama said. Was it logical? Or was it diabolical? And hope that somewhere, somehow we find something factual, and then we get mad when we realize it was all a fable told to keep us from being financially stable and independent. Cause Mama don't want us to be strong women, cause then we will be masculine. So we must find a man, a good man, one of stature, one of a good last name, one that has fame, so we can amount to something and please Mama. Cause if we don't, we are a disappointment because our vaginas got our expiry date, our ring finger has a price, and our bodies are sold to the highest bidder. Mama said, get you a man who could provide for you because provisions are more important than love, I guess. He could provide the world, but can he love you? Mama said, don't date a broke man. You need a man with wealth and emotionally stable. Well, you scratch that. Well, we are unstable and a lot of our dysfunctionalism being ignored, and we believe that dating a broke man is beneath us when we have broken everything but this generational cycle, and we cycle back every generation because we take what mothers have said as a new age version of the Black Bible for women, and we dare not question it. Mama said, get a man that went to decent school, without realizing that statement is elitist, and we maintain that elitist structure ensuring that every man maintains the criteria and is not common. So his entrance is one of great anticipation by every family member that they can boast and brag about him, and you will push up your chest with pride because you did exactly what Mama said.
The Father's Garden. This piece was inspired by Alice Walker's In Search of Our Mother's Gardens, a collection of essays. When you search your mother's garden and find nothing there but briars and thorns that invade, overwhelm, and choke out the life you so desperately seek to live, and clearing the path, you find more sticks and rocks thrown in your way than you care to encounter, then let breeze blow. Inhale, exhale, and through the fear, summon courage to inquire the whereabouts of the master gardener. Seek the embrace of his well-worn hands and counsel from wells so deep that they know no bottom. Look not at the other gardens tended with care, not at those neglected and abandoned, but at your own, and grow there peace, healing, hope for bright tomorrows, where motherless children can play without fear, frolic without worry, and grow strong roots to withstand the vicissitudes of life.
Dearest woman under the sun. Dearest woman under the sun, your life has just begun. Young and free, you're only 3, but a mighty leader, you're destined to be. Someday soon, I promise you, hun, many will see you, a true diamond. Dearest woman under the sun, you're 13 now and life's so much fun. Isn't it cool that your body is changing and beauty seems a topic that's remaining? You have many friends, boys swarm your head, but stay focused, girl. Your light is meant to be shed. Don't let bad company corrupt you, and never mind he's not into you. You are a woman of rare value. He may not see it now, but you must believe. Your worth is not found in a boy's affection, but in the fact that you are God's precious creation. Dearest woman under the sun, you're 18 and wondering what it would be like to do your own thing. You have a great big future ahead of you, a desire to prove that dreams do come true. Always know that I am cheering you on, because you're capable of accomplishing things on your own. You should never need a man's approval, so don't settle for less just because it's available. Your dreams are yours to hold. Just sit back and watch them unfold. Dearest woman under the sun, you're 25 and can't stop comparing your life to the lives of other women. Somehow you feel as though you're not enough, or you're single and feel unworthy of love. Social media laughs at your misery, only highlighting your feelings of inadequacy. Honey, my advice to you today is to stand up strong and never sway. You are not made up of what you do, nor does your value equate to a man loving you. You are rare, interesting, unique, and all that you need lies within what you speak. Be kind to yourself in this moment of becoming, and ignore those lies of social shortcoming. Dearest woman under the sun, I hope you know the importance of your soul and discover you don't need a man to be whole. I hope you go after beauty in your future untold and welcome the changes that make you bold. I hope you know that your birth, your existence on earth, makes you an incredible woman of worth. I hope you know that you are strong. And because you don't cook does not make you wrong. You have the power to stand in the face of mockery, to prove you're not weak, but quite the contrary. Dearest woman under the sun, I know a king will be filled with pride to have a wonderful woman like you by his side. But if that does not happen, never forget your worth and your beauty are found within. Your light will not stop shining in those places you've been. My dearest woman under the sun, always remember that you are loved, you are needed, you are rare and precious within. Now go, tumble in the flowers and allow the sun to kiss your skin.
Ode to every woman. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Proverbs 31. I see you, a baobab tree, strong, life-giving, far-reaching. I see you, a river overflowing with knowledge, nurturing, teaching. I see you, a font of wisdom, chiding, chastising, redeeming. Woman of purpose, can you see it? I hear boom, boom, the drums of freedom as you fight for equity. I hear the clickety-clack of your stilettos against inequality. I hear your voice of thunder roaring for justice socially. Woman of valor, can you hear it? perfume consuming discrimination. Your aroma permeates putrid legislation. I smell the fragrance of your revolution. Woman of virtue, can you smell it? I reach out and touch you. I feel your heart of gold. I caress the sacrifices you make in this world so cold. I feel you in the wind of change, aggressive yet assertive, bold. Woman of power, can you feel it? It's your tenacity I savor. It's your backbone of steel I favor. And God in you adds flavor. Woman of God, can you taste it? Who can find a virtuous woman? I am her. I am she. You are her. You are she. Woman of God, do you taste it? Woman of power, do you feel it? Woman of virtue, do you smell it? Woman of valor, do you hear it? Woman of purpose, do you see it? Speak, girl. Shine, sister. Reign, queen. Do you?
Woman of the world. Maiden, mother, marga, crone. Choose to challenge everything you've ever known. Expand the edges of your own realm of possibility. Look beyond what just the eyes can see, pierce between the veils of lies and reality, the idealistic reservations, unrealistic expectations of a society built neither by you nor for you. So choose to challenge everything that you've been told. The story, the narrative, the tale you've been sold. Do not believe everything you hear, read, or even think. Shame and blame is designed to make you shrink into the shadows of your mind when we both know, woman of the world, that you were born to shine. Daughter of the earth, sister of the sea, women of all age, culture, color, creed, interconnected with the cycle of the moon. Womb to womb, blood to bloom, there is magnificence birthing within you, woman of the world. There is nothing that you cannot do. So choose to choose. Give yourself full permission. You have nothing to lose but your own limitation, your own participation in the perpetuation of the stereotypes. So reclaim your mind. Stop dimming your own light and hold firm, sister, knowing brilliance is your birthright. Together we are stronger than we ever realize. So may sisterhood rise like in priestess times across borders, barriers, and great divides. May we see what is possible when women unite and celebrate, elevate each other, empower one another. Each one teach one, strengthen the other. Woman of the world, your song is sung universally. From the north to the south, to the west, to the east, across lands and seas, internationally. Woman of the world, you are so worthy. You are already enough. Your pain is your power, and your essence is love.
Woman, see. Do you see? Can you see me? Am I the woman you know? who walks and talks and gaffs and giggles, humming a silly private tune, swaying my hips to silent sister songs, peering Instagrammed mirrors, believing, hoping, praying my beauty is maybe enough. Do you see? Can you see me? Am I the woman you envy, you hate? The woman to whom you hurl secret words like bait, to trap, to wound, to deconstruct my unsuspecting trust in you? Do you see? Can you see me? Am I the woman who leans too much in, who empties herself out, who wears herself thin, who tries to seek and fix and save all who are lost, whose redemptive powers are clearly not enough, who shaves her man's sin and builds burning altars unto her own blame? Did you see? Have you seen me? Am I the woman who stopped by your bed last night, who stifled my yawns, simulated by cries, and made you think you were a little G-God, only to turn a small non-existent, like a whimper into a stifling pillow of resentment, of degradation, of wantingness, of shame? Did you see? Have you seen me? Am I the woman, sister, mother, aunt, friend, whose choices TikTok, whose screeching voice rocks the microphone that is my exposed life, so that everybody knows and everybody sees and everything is tattered and every splint is splattered and every dream is drattered and not a thing of it matters to you? Can you see? Dare you see me take up my bed and walk? Can you see, dare you see me take up my voice and talk? Can you see, dare you see me take up my pain and vault over? Can you see, dare you see me take up my brush, my chalk, my power, my walk, my passion, my pen, my song, my poem, my glory, my old-time story, rewritten? Dare you see my pause, my prayer, my me? Woman, see.
The tweet says, "We have to stop mistreating the mothers of our children." And instantly I feel as though I have been given a double-edged sword to cut my teeth on, like my existence is finally being given recognition, but only a small fraction of it. The post says, "What if she was your mother, sister, daughter, aunt, and I can't fight the disappointment that is gallivanting around in my head. I want so badly to comment, but instead I let my next feminist rant catch fire in my chest until it becomes this poem. Ain't I always the same amount of woman? Ain't I the same amount of woman when my body holds a poem instead of a child? When I mother a nation? When my mind gives birth to an idea that comes into the world kicking and screaming and dripping with potential? Ain't I a woman beyond my biological systems and functions, beyond this body? Ain't I the same amount of woman when I choose openness over modesty? Ain't this body a temple I can worship into? And ain't I the same amount of woman when my words dance past my lips like a gentle wind sighing sweetly over skin, and when I can make hurricanes out of my tongue, when my laughter is the clear clink of tea time crystal crockery. And when my joy is a head thrown back, thunderclap, and ain't I always woman enough to summon the spirit of my sisterhood of suffragettes to insist that the sidewalk ain't a catwalk for catcalls and out-of-pocket comments, to demand agency over matters involving my body, to deny entrance into my space. This poem is a declaration. It ain't the question anymore. We don't have to ask anymore. Ain't I a woman? Ain't I Sojourner Truth's truth and Bell Hooks' anthem? Ain't I that Nanny Gregg spirit with the heart to start a revolution? And ain't we all our grandmother's wisdom? We ain't postponing this conversation to a later date to wait till it's convenient, cause change ain't the patient type, and time waits for no one no more. No more letting reductive reasoning relegate women to the sidelines with roles pre-assigned by archaic thinking. No more women who aren't woman enough, who ain't feminist enough, who are crabs clawing their way out of a bucket, who are the bucket the crabs are trying to crawl out of. No more. No more ignoring the many facets of woman, because when you tell woman to pick a lane, it is the same thing as saying handpicked from this same struggle you have always had to choke on. No more. No more using either or arguments to other women out of our womanness. No more impositions of masculinity when woman does not fit your blueprints. No more. Because this is not a poem. This is our next status update.
As we celebrate International Women's Day, I am cognizant of the COVID-19 pandemic. I choose to challenge the socio-political pandemic that has plagued, silenced, and paralyzed the woman for years, yet she remains resilient. I was therefore inspired to pen this piece to eulogize or pay homage to all women, irrespective of color, class, or creed, to give us hope as we continue to walk in our God-given purpose.
Today we celebrate International Day of Women. And as we do so, we know that many of us go in search of our mother's gardens, looking for tools to help us to navigate life. And when we do so, we often find that either the tools are not there or what is there is not adequate. But there is another garden, the Father's Garden.
Happy International Women's Day, everyone. My name is Lashana Griffith, and the piece I'm doing for you is entitled Mama Said, from my soon-to-be-released book, Melanin Drops.
My name is Ronte Marshall, and what inspired me to write this poem was thinking about all of the young girls across the globe and across the island of Barbados. Because growing up is tough, and I know that you will need encouragement and inspiration while facing all of your stages of becoming.
Happy International Women's Day to all women everywhere. Like so many before me, I choose to use my voice to challenge those ideas that try to fit women into a box. This piece was therefore inspired by all women everywhere and sparked by a Twitter thread that was very insightful about the ways in which we reduce women to specific roles. My name is Cindy Celeste, and this is Status Update.
This International Women's Day, I wanted to create an invitation for women all around the world to open their hearts and open their minds to an expanded sense of their own potential, and to choose to challenge any of the limiting thoughts, beliefs, stories, or social conditionings that may be holding them back from that. I also wanted to explore the universal thread that interconnects the female experience and consider what could be possible on our planet if women from all around the world were to unite in a global system.
I am Denise J. Charles. What inspired me to write this poem? I think that I decided to write this poem because although we as women have made so many strides, and we must be congratulated for those strides, and these things are to be applauded, but in spite of the strides that women have made, we are still confronted with so many societal stereotypes. So many people still try to box women in, and unfortunately sometimes we women are our biggest enemy. And I think that there's a need for women to really rally together, to have each other's back, and to be able to share our stories and tell our stories in a way that can empower other women and at the same time can provide reflection for our society at large. So I think I decided to write this poem because I wanted to share the perspectives and the experiences of various women and to bring them from a space of invisibility to being seen.